Sunday's game against the Minnesota Vikings, you would have thought the Bears were the 3-5 team the way that the media and everyone was talking about them. Basically because the Vikings had beaten a bad Arizona team, come back and beat a bad Arizona team, they were suddenly at the top of the NFC North again, despite having a losing 3-5 record. The Bears were 5-3, though not convincingly in some games. They were still the better team, and at home, they were an underdog. But the Bears played the underdog role to perfection. And they did so once again on Sunday with a very convincing 27-13 win over the Minnesota Vikings. It was a great statement win for this team. They played great as a whole. Offense is looking fantastic. This new balanced offensive running, passing attack. Cutler's mobility, it's looking great. Defense, why they didn't sack Favre, they had a lot of pressure on him. And what can you ask for other than seeing Brett Favre on the ground for a lot of the game? And special teams, once again, there's a big twist with putting Hester back on kickoff returns, and that helped a lot. It set up the Bears' offense on some of these scoring drives, and it was a big boost to this team as a whole. In the past, Adrian Peterson has been a killer for the Bears' defense. They haven't been able to stop him for whatever reason. But on Sunday, they limited all day to just 51 yards on 17 carries, which is very big for this team. Their run defense is great this season, and to be able to limit one of the best in the game currently, that's big for them. When Jay Cutler came to Chicago 2 years ago, he was seen as the savior of his franchise. After last season, he became more of a liability. And then this season, he's finally getting back to being the type of playmaking quarterback that the Bears thought they had traded for those 2 years ago. He had a great game, another great game. Martz is finally utilizing rolling Cutler out of the pocket where he is his most dangerous in a good way and productive. He was making excellent throws. He had one bad throw, which was an interception in the end zone. That was more of his 2009 persona, but he came right back after that, and he led the Bears to score and drive and threw a touchdown pass. And it was great. I mean, it's nice to see Cutler finally being utilized, being able to see that, the offensive line, while they're doing better, they're not perfect, and you could see, they're lucky that Minnesota, wasn't blitzing more, only bringing their 4 guys up, but you can see that Cutler is his most productive when he's outside of the pocket on the run. He's very, very athletic quarterback. You might not think that he is when you see him at first glance, but he is and he showed that on Sunday. It took about 9 weeks with the Bears offense finally getting together as a whole. Everyone, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, offensive line, quarterback, coordinator, they are all gelling finally. They're all on the same page and they're all producing. And Sunday against the Vikings was a big day for them, especially for the receivers like Johnny Knox and tight end Greg Olsen. They had great games. Olsen, you can see he's finally learning how to block, which is very good because, Cutler could have been killed on that one blitz. They're going to need that, especially going up against Miami, who is a very blitz-happy team. Got Cameron Wake coming at you. Once again, the Bears' offensive line was solid. They allowed just 1 sack on Cutler, and, you're kind of wondering where was this all season. They're finally getting a sense of continuity on this line. They have had the same 5 starters for 2 consecutive weeks now, and going into this Miami game, they're going to have them again. And that's so important to be able to not only get that sense of continuity, but to get that confidence with the same group of guys. And Jay Cutler even said that, as long as he's not getting hit a lot, he likes that. Who wouldn't after getting sacked 27 times the first half of the season? And he's only gotten sacked twice these last 2 games. That is big. To be able to keep Cutler up is the biggest thing for this offense. Because if he's down and he's struggling and he's worried, he's going to make mistakes, which is going to overall, kill this offense. One of the things that kind of irks me that, you can't kind of really point as to a reason or, validate it is the fact that the refs, the play calling in this game was horrid, at least on the Bears side. At home, you're supposed to get the home refs and everything and have the advantage, but the referees were just, oh my God, they were killer. The Bears had over 116 yards on penalties, and there were calls that shouldn't have been made, like on the Matt Forte chop block that they called it. He actually slid on the crap Soldier Field turf, and the Minnesota Viking defender, tripped over him, and they called it a chop block. Forte's on the ground, the guy trips over him, and that's 15-yard penalty, and that basically, put the offense out of, position at that point. And I'm thinking, why are they making these calls? And then Minnesota is getting away with a lot. I mean, it's like these refs want the Vikings, Brett Favre to win. I mean, it's pathetic. My favorite one though was when Cutler found Olsen in the end zone that first time, and they ruled a holding call, which I didn't see. Even watching it back, I did not see a holding call. But Cutler went right back and hit Olsen in the end zone for a touchdown anyways, and that was nice. And in the video package, you show Cutler pointing to either, I don't know, a ref or a Minnesota Viking defender, pointing and being like, F you, something like that. It was that. I knew there's a reason I like Jay Cutler. Fox was quick to note that Brett Favre has owned the Bears in the past, but they didn't quite do the research. He has owned them in the past, prior to the 2005 season. From 2005 on, the Bears have owned him. It was really great to see the Bears defense get after him. They didn't sack him, but they got lots of pressure and lots of big hits, which I saw. And once again, you saw the refs helping Favre up. They also forced him into mistakes, and there was a great tipped pass by Israel Domjay, who's having a Pro Bowl type season right now, and tipped it, and DJ Moore intercepted it, setting up the Bears for his score. And it was just great to see them get after Favre. Of course, we all want them to hurt him. I wanted them to put him out for his career, but maybe let's just save that for the last Vikings game, because that how beautiful would that be to put him out that last game. But yeah, the defense getting after Favre is huge. I mean, that's one of the things that the defense is good at doing this season. Why they haven't been able to get sacks. They've been able to pressure the quarterback just enough to force him into mistakes. Devin Hester is ridiculous again. I love the decision to put him back on kickoff returns. Dave Toub was saying that it was because Johnny Knox was getting increased offensive reps, and that Daniel Manning, they're both full-time players. Hester's more fresh. It was great to see him back there. He had 147 return yards, 185 all-purpose yards added in the receiving. And you just see every time, he almost broke one free that he got taken down on the 30-yard line. But he is great for this offense. He's giving the offense great field position, and every time he has the ball in his hand, he is a threat to score. Heading into the Miami game, which is going to be tomorrow night on Thursday Night Football, I'm going to be there. I'm really psyched. It's going to be a great game. I have a good feeling about this game. I have a great feeling about this game, actually. The Bears are going up against a third-string quarterback in Tyler Thigpen, who had, one impressive drive last week, but that's no surprise. He's been on the Chiefs. He's done stuff before. But I think the Bears should not at any cost discount him. I think they could have a good game against him. That's going to be big. For the Bears offense, Miami's defense, they were banged up a little bit, but, not so much. It was just, minor, cuts and bruises. They got to watch out for guys like Cameron Wake and Channing Crowder. And, I mean, you gotta prepare. You gotta be able. I do not want them to stray from rolling Cutler out of the pocket where he's most successful. They need to stick to the things that have gotten them to the point they are. It's nice to see Marston not stray from that last week from the run pass combination, and that's great. And they need to do that again. Devin Hester this is the perfect atmosphere for Devin Hester to break the return record. He's returning home to Miami. And he's one away from, just taking the lead. And, that would be amazing. Especially for me, I'm going to be there. How awesome would that be to witness history? But also the story about going back to, Miami, Dolphin Stadium, Sun Life Stadium, whatever, is the last time the Bears were here, it was the Super Bowl loss 4 years ago. And, it's kind of like a revenge factor. You want to win there. I know you didn't play the Dolphins, but you still want to win there and leave there happy because that place kind of has bad memories now. So I'm going to go with the Bears to win this game. Dolphins are struggling at home. They're 1-3 at home. They have a third-string quarterback who I'm not too sure about. I don't think he has – I think the Bears' offense will ultimately do just enough because Miami's defense is great. But I think the Bears' defense will do way enough to be able to limit their offense. And I think the Bears are going to win 24-17 I'm calling it. This has been Alyssa with Bears Bits. Catch you again next Friday. Have a great day. Have a great day and enjoy the game tomorrow. Bear down. I'll be in South Beach. See ya.